Right. I'd like to call the committee of the whole meeting for Wednesday, March 19th to order at 5 o'clock. Morris,
Here.
Shufelt,
Here.
Westfall,
Here.
Block is excused. Fields,
Here.
Moore is here. Mordarski, excused. Will you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Let the record reflect that Mr. Mordarski is here at 5:01. You're up. Oh, you're gonna sneeze? Okay.
Maybe I'm not. Agenda for board and discussion items, revisions or approval of the agenda. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Ms. Fields. Is there a second?
Support.
Support by Mr. Moore. Ms. Shufelt is a yes. Mr. Westfall?
Yes.
Ms. Block is absent. Ms. Fields?
Yes.
Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Medarsky?
Yes.
Mr. Morris?
Yep.
That passes 6. And I will open the floor. Wait.
Okay, yeah, we'd like to just, we said, yeah, we just want to schedule this meeting today. As you know, we're proposing a resolution to bring down the bonds. I think we've gotten the information that we need or that we've requested with regard to moving forward with the renovation of Taylor High School. So I wanted to leave this open for discussion on that, questions, concerns with regard to that.
And I do just want to say, Jim Crowley is in attendance. He is our attorney that handles our bond issues. So in case you have any specific questions, he is here to answer those.
Any discussion?
Well, sure. I mean, the main issue is that the public was not really notified even what we were voting on. I mean, you checked on the website, there was nothing. I mean, this morning there was a little something. The bond resolution still can't be accessed by the public. The dollar amount's not even on the agenda. This was basically a stealth bond attack. There's no reason the public couldn't have gotten notification of this prior. I don't even know the dollar amount. Can you please tell me the dollar amount, Mr. Bond Attorney?
The dollar amount's been posted more than once. And
For this meeting? No, it has not.
what are you talking about? What's left in the bond?
Yeah. So you have a resolution today that nobody could access even what the resolution was. So nobody's coming to the meeting, so you don't even know what's being voted on. The bond resolution we're voting on was never posted. What?
Just $1 million. That's it.
That's all
That's
that's
out there
left.
For months.
And I
years. It's
yeah.
just-
Yeah, but what?
Say or give, it's
The full
$100 million.
bond that was voted on was 130 million, not 150, 130. 30 of it was brought down. That's what it was, and in that bond language was also the redoing of the athletic fields. All of that was built into the bond. All of the renovations at 2 or 3 of the elementaries was built into the bond. That's what the people voted on. So far, they've gotten the renovations in the elementaries. And now that it should be started on the athletic. What's left from all the meetings I've attended is $100 million. When that's pulled down, I call it pulled down, I don't know what the technical term is. When those bonds are sold, then that's it. It's the 100 million.
No, I understand that, but I'm just saying the people voted 4 years ago for this bond issue. Part of it was issued, as we know, the 330 million, whatever. A lot of people thought this 100 million would never be issued without a new plan. And so I just find it odd that 4 years, 52 weeks, we picked this meeting to vote on issuing the rest of the bonds, which is gonna make everyone's taxes go up, probably about $200. And most people I know were against this. So instead of giving them notice to attend and voice their concern with the plan, this was never posted correctly that that's what we were voting on today. Nothing about this.
Justin, we've been talking about it for months
Mhm.
and renovating the high school and using the $100 million to do.
Correct. And we can talk about any,
Wants. or
they wanted it on the agenda, so they knew. The community wanted it posted on the agenda, so they knew what we were voting on today. That's what they wanted.
I would like to remind everyone, we need a level of decorum, please.
Yeah.
We're all trying to do what's best for the school district. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm pretty sure that the community that I talked to are super excited about what we're about to hopefully do today. And moving forward to give these students and our district something finally.
Here's,
I'm not
here,
sure what the confusion is. Everybody knows what the resolution is gonna be.
Ma'am, no, they don't, because if you go on the website to read the resolution, if you go on the door to read the resolution, there's nothing there. It simply says bond resolution, and that was as of this morning. I'm gonna tell you right now, if you went on Tuesday, there was nothing. If you went on Monday, there was nothing. If you went on Friday, there was nothing. No, you never told people this was happening today.
nobody's arguing that, and I've been the biggest one complaining about it for a long time, that we do not have bond updates on that website. Have I not been complaining about it, Mike?
Well,
Yeah.
good. I'm sorry, go ahead.
That is one thing that does have to be addressed. If the community needed to be here tonight if they were all that concerned. Facebook community doesn't
It's
hold
nothing.
a drop of water to me.
But they couldn't be here because they didn't know what was going on, is my point.
I just want to remind everybody that I put it out publicly at the last meeting on several occasions. I put it out for the people on Zoom and,
Okay.
Fifth Cal meeting in less than a year. And what you see here is the most people we've ever gotten. And they've all been about the bond, about what's next, about.
I can see where you're coming from, but I don't see how you can pay architects and get prepared and have all of this in place and then pull the money down. You've got to have the money to put those things in play.
Well, I guess I asked the question then, are these bonds callable? If we decide to not go on the project, can we call the bonds later? So these are callable bonds for the record. Can you please state that? Oh, so they're semi-callable. See, that's a problem.
This board, as you're aware, the original plan has changed. So all this does is start the process of issuing the plan. Before we can complete that process, this board is going to have to decide whether it's spending money.
When will if it were voted on today, when will the first bond sale take place?
Can I ask that you come to the podium, sir?
Yeah, this is important.
Something.
Sure. So the plan, typically, this is the start of the issuance process. This resolution speaks to the issuance of the bonds and allows the district to spend the money on any allowable project that the voters approved. So this particular resolution just starts the financing process. I think that what the plan was to get these bonds issued before July 1, because that's a levy date for taxes. So I think the plan was to have the bonds issued on or before July 1 of this year.
So to just reiterate what you said, we want to hurry up and do it before July 1, so everybody has to pay the extra tax. Is that correct? We want everyone's taxes to go up. Well, I mean, that's what would happen. You want to attach it to the rolls, correct?
Correct, but.
Yeah, okay, good.
That's the normal process.
Yeah.
When we have debt, but the July 1 is your levy date. So for this year, you'd want to get that on the rolls for this year.
So they could be paying taxes on a project that hasn't even been approved yet, correct?
Well, we're not going to issue the bonds until so the other piece of this is that these bonds were authorized by the voters.
Yeah.
And before they were issued, these bonds were qualified with the state of Michigan under the school bond loan program, which is the guarantee program but you have to go through the state and identify all your projects. And we did this, the school district back in 2021 went and we went through the whole process. There's an application that has all the projects in there. What we have to do, the other part of this is once this board decides what they want to do, we have to go back to the state of Michigan Treasury Department and get their blessing on what we're doing. And we started that process last year, based on what the plan was last year. But once this board decides what you're going to do now, we're going to go back to Treasury and get their blessing on this, which is required by law.
No, so hypothetically speaking, we approve this tonight, okay? Goes on the tax rolls after July. Let's say we still can't decide in 2 more years what we're gonna do. Would the people's taxes go up or not?
So, Alliance, let me answer. Hold on your first question. We can't issue the bonds until this board decides what the amended plan is going to be, and the Department of Treasury has to approve it. So we can't issue bonds. There's going to be, once Treasury blesses it, there's a roadmap, there's an application that identifies all the projects you're going to do. We had an original application that has all the projects, which included the building a new high school. You're not doing that anymore. The new application is renovating the middle school to be a high school and other stuff. So you're going to have a Treasury roadmap that is going to be approved by Treasury. So there's going to be no changing that. Once Treasury approves it, then we can't issue the bonds until Treasury approves that. And then that's our roadmap that we have to follow.
So this, what you just said, this plan with the middle school, we've already approved this or no?
The current high school would be the middle school and we would make renovations to it. So within that bond language, we can use the bond money to renovate the high school.
No, I understand.
Keep it a high school.
I understand that, but this will be the final vote to issue the bonds. Once we vote yes today, assuming Treasury approves, it's a done deal. It happens, correct? Or is there a second vote by this board?
There's not under this resolution, but what happens is delegated to the superintendent to close the bond issue, sign all the closing documents.
Right. So with this resolution, we give up all future power and we have no future control, no more votes. Is that correct?
We then have
No,
to-
no, it sounds like, no.
And once that plan is approved, like you have to know, like we're gonna take this section of the high school, and we're gonna rebuild the gym. And then this is how much money we need and that's how much money they give us, right? Is that what you're trying to
The
say?
Treasury, there's a very extensive application that we're going to have to provide to Treasury. And once that's your roadmap. It's
But
gonna
who does
identify
the application?
Your design professionals do that for you.
So if we don't agree with that, it's still going to happen anyways.
No. You have to, what happens, the process is we take that application, we have a preliminary meeting with Treasury, they review it, it's called a PQ meeting. We did this originally in 21, we did it again last year in 2024. We had an amended application with the roadmap we were heading then. This board has to approve that. This board is going to approve that new amended Treasury application
At a future meeting.
before we can issue bonds. That's one of the key requirements to the issuance of these bonds
So there will be a second vote.
on the application, the project application.
And if that were denied, then the bonds would not go.
We
Correct.
have to go back and come up with a new roadmap
Yeah.
of what we're gonna do with the money.
Now, you mentioned delegation to the superintendent. Can you elaborate on that?
So typically when we do these, a bond resolution, we approve all the steps that have to be taken and then we delegate to the superintendent to close up the deal. It's just a normal way to do it.
Kind of like the mayor being delegated to oversee something.
Oh, no, I understand the concept. I'm not sure I want to do that. No, I understand it. I'm just questioning the utility of doing that because that seemed to be a problem with the previous bond issue. There was over delegation and the board in a lot of ways allowed people to usurp their authority. And that's really what caused a lot of the
It
problems.
wasn't delegation, it was oversight of the delegate.
Well, either way, they didn't do it. So
Right.
we have to be very careful in what we do. Yeah.
My concern, Justin, is if we don't do something to that high school with this money, and with the way everything is going up now in price due to tariffs, and we're gonna get more tariffs, by the time we go to spend the money, we may be able to afford an outhouse. So my concern is at least give these residents and these kids something for the money that got, we're cleaning up a mess of a prior administration and a prior board. We're stuck. This is where we're at. The process is all minutia to me. Who's delegated, who's what? Because when it comes down to who's the boss, so to speak, we are of Mike. So if he doesn't do what we've instructed him to do, that can destroy his career. Bottom line.
No, I understand what you're saying, but most residents I've spoken with didn't even want the second issuance to happen if they're not getting a new high school. I mean, that was really the contract voters, I think, felt was.
And
Well,
I agree 200%, but the problem is they voted the bond can be adjusted, the money's not there for a new high school. We can leave that money sit there till doomsday, but guaranteed, when this board is replaced, the next board can pull that money and adjust the plans and do what they want with it then.
And the thing is, the buying power on it then is gonna be a lot less than it is right now because of all the factors you had cited.
I was not a favor of calling this money down. I was not. Because I too believed when you vote to have a high school built, then that's what you need to do with the money. I requested figures from another company, which we all got, and that company as well, even with making a smaller building that would house 10, 11, and 12, we still didn't have the money to do a smaller building. So now you gotta weigh the options. Do we want to sit back, let the money sit out there and never land and let somebody else handle the whole thing? And we're not giving the community anything back? The question I have is from what time that you request the bonds or you sell the bonds and the time that it hits the tax rolls? Because I think that's part of what Justin was saying. Is that correct, Justin?
Yes, that is correct. And I believe he said it would hit the tax rolls this year, if I understood you correctly.
Well, there's already a debt levy being levied annually on your current debt. So this would be just whatever increase to pay off these bonds.
Right, it would be about 4 times, because if we're levying about 25 million, and we go up to 100 million, it would clearly go up.
It will, but
Correct.
it stays within, so when we went to the voters in 2021, there was a millage, I have it here, a promise to the voters, and because we didn't issue the bonds according to the way we planned, the debt levy went down. It's going to go back up, but it's not
Right.
going to go above what we told the voters it was not going to exceed back in 2021.
Still shoot up to about $300 a house, I believe, was the full
Yeah,
numbers.
Don't know that off the top of my head.
So it's a tax increase. Can we just,
It's figured out at 250.
yeah, can we just say the word? It will be a tax increase. Can you just say that?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, so absolutely will be a
No
tax
doubt
increase.
about that.
Okay,
Yeah.
But
I-
it- begin with
right, but that's,
increase of around $250.
Yes.
When it was voted yes. We haven't had to pay that yet. And now we're finally at a spot where we can move forward to give our students in our district something. It is evident we cannot build a new high school.
correct.
We have $100 million. There wasn't enough money asked for to begin with to build a high school in 2021. There
Right.
wasn't enough money then. I don't know where they got the dollar amount from. I wasn't a part of it. None of it. But there wasn't enough money then. There's nowhere near enough money now. We have enough money to give them new, improved, up-to-date, modernized, a beautiful building inside what we have. And so now we're gonna get the tax increase. We haven't had the last 4 years. We haven't had it yet, so everybody knew it was coming.
This,
Not a
this is what the
surprise.
voters wanted. They wanted to give and yes, it was for one particular item. That item was impossible to do. Impossible.
I'm very disappointed that we are not getting a new high school. However, once I saw the dollar amount, the money, it was quite clear, abundantly clear that we did not have enough to,
You
to
worked for the
build
bond,
a new
did you
high
not?
school. Pardon me?
You worked to get that bond.
Yeah, but I didn't come up with the dollar amount. I wish I didn't care for the architects from day one. However, that wasn't, my decision. I wasn't a board member. The dollar amount, that was their job to come up with the dollar amount. And, we worked really hard on that bond, getting it passed.
That dollar amount then has tripled.
Right. Well, I don't think it was enough at the time. Now, sitting back now, but
But
anyway,
even
I'm
if.
very
even if we
disappointed we're
say-
not getting a new high school. However, the reality is this. So let's do
Even
something
if
good.
even if we approve it tonight to bring that 100 million in,
Right.
it's still gonna be 2 or 3 years before you even start ordering.
Oh, I disagree.
Supplies.
Yeah, but that wouldn't be my department, 2 or 3 years.
Well, I think when we've talked with Collaborative and that,
Yeah.
they're talking about a design phase of about 8 months. So
Yeah.
that would be pretty much the rest of this year, and then you
Right.
bid it. So by finished product, it could be as long as that.
Yeah, I
But,
think finished.
but I think
product,
there
yeah,
would be
for
some of
sure.
it going before
So
then, yes.
it is a lengthy
Phases.
process.
Yes.
Yeah, and then we're gonna have a challenge with, doing it well, there's students too, so
Yep.
there's lots to plan, for sure. For sure.
And I do want to say, and I know I've put it out to this board, we did the polling data back in the spring, and the polling data did show from what we had the company Glenn Gariff go out and get it. It did show that there was support for the renovation, that basically voters would not vote for more money to come in. Like they would not in any way, shape or form vote to sell more bonds, but that they would be acceptable to us renovating with what's in the pot.
Well, if I may respond, no, I mean, what you're saying is factual and true. I just think that the voters sent the money for a new high school. You're correct. There's no money for that. I think the proper thing now is to not sell these bonds, but to work with the state legislatures to give us the opportunity to end the authorization and come back with something new to the voters. That's the appropriate thing. I know we can't do that now, but I'm sure we could work with some of our elected folk and fix this mess. But just because we can spend the money doesn't mean we should. It's like getting a credit card and blowing it.
That you're saying, just let it sit there and not give our students in district anything new?
No, we are giving them something new because we're giving them an athletic field, but we need to represent this.
Has no heat, no air, it needs lighting.
Well,
needs
it does have
bathrooms.
heat and air. It just doesn't work correctly.
But what I'm saying,
But continue going to your school that can't provide you.
no, is that we stick with what was told to them that we're getting a new high school. They cannot get a new high school. So we represent to them a proper dollar amount and let them vote on it up or down. That's what we do. We can't bait and switch and say you're getting a new high school. But you can ask them for the money. But you can ask them for the money is what I'm trying to tell you.
Are you
And-
saying that ask through another bond, or are you asking through just asking the legislature to appropriate money to us?
Well, I mean, legislative money is always a good thing. But no, I would say you cancel this bond, which would need legislative approval, okay? Then you go back to the city of Taylor voters with a new plan for a new high school with a proper cost to see how they vote.
Never
gonna-
fly.
Well, if they're gonna say no, then that's why we shouldn't be doing this. You just proved my point. The fact that
That their students are gonna go into that isn't over exceeding the money that we have.
but if we canceled it, then the new levy would be zero and they'd be essentially reapproving this for a few bucks more and see if they believed in the plan.
But I do want to clarify, and Mr. Crowley, maybe you can answer this. The thing is, we can't even go back to the voters to get them to rescind what's on the table. These bonds are there, and they are there for perpetuity
That's why
purposes.
he was saying that you would go to the legislature to like change that law so you could fix that. But
Yeah, the perpetuity authorization, I think I have actually spoken to 2 state legislatures on this. I'm not gonna mention their names.
Yeah.
But they said the perpetuity authorization was never intended. And we could probably get that revoked. We probably
Through
could.
the legislative process of getting through the state house, the state
Correct.
senate, the governor.
It's worth a shot because I'm telling you, people voted for a new high school. Their taxes are gonna go up. They're not getting a new high school. It is just that simple. It's just that wrong.
Built an existing building. They're getting a new.
They're
high
getting a
school.
renovation. That's not what they voted for, and you know that. And here's the deal. If you look at the poll, and I went through the poll in great detail. Thank you for sharing that. There was no option of rescinding the bonds. I guarantee if the option of there was rescinding the bonds. Right now, we cannot, but if you had asked them, hey, what if we could try?
Singing.
Yeah,
It'd be changing state law essentially.
Yeah.
That's what you're getting at.
I think we'd have a lot of support for this.
Not in my lifetime.
So.
This is a unique case. I think we'd have support on this. This has really never happened before in the state. So I think we might get on both sides of the aisle, red and blue, that, hey, you have a bond that can't be used. Let's be able to rescind it.
But we do have we have a use for it, Justin.
No, we do, but the intent, we all have agreed the intent was to build a new high school.
So I think, let's bring it down. Sorry, let's sell it. Let's sell it. Let's redo the high school. And if the public doesn't ever want to vote for another bond, which they're not going to, because I hear the same complaints you do, then so be it. Why wait? Cost more money and try to fight it at the legislature level.
Simply for the reasons you stated, if we asked them again, they would say no. So I personally find it unethical to do some bait and switch.
That's an opinion.
That is my opinion. I'm not accusing anyone of being unethical. That is my opinion. Uh-huh.
Created a little of a hectic situation with the bond. And we have spent, I know I have spent endless hours going through scenarios. Let's try it this way. Let's do this. We got money ideas for this. We got this breakdown. We got that breakdown. And in almost 3-4 years, we have come back to the same resolution every single time. So we keep,
It needs to be
Pushing it
voted
off.
on one way or the
we
other.
keep, yep, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna renovate the high school and we're gonna get all these plans and we're gonna share it with everybody in the district and then, oh, just kidding, we lied, just kidding. We're gonna take that back. Just for another year to go by, for us to come to the same resolution. We can't build a new high school, but we do have money to renovate and make a beautiful high school. Why do we continue wasting time?
Well, no,
We
no,
have
wait a
had-
minute.
We
You
have-
may have wasted time. This is a new board,
This
Stephanie.
is,
Right.
a year ago, we were at this same resolution. We're gonna renovate the high school. The same
Why wasn't it
resolution.
passed back then?
Yeah, if we can get this done with this,
But a year has passed, is my point, and here we sit. and
4
we're
years have
saying-
passed since we approved the bond and this is as far as we've got.
But my point is like, once they realized there wasn't enough money to build a high school, they looked at all these other avenues. People left, new people came in, we explored more avenues. And we're back, this is now the third time, we're back to renovating the high school, the current high school. Since I've been on the board. And so Justin is suggesting we stop the idea altogether again. And potentially waste more years just to come back to the same resolution, because we're not gonna get enough money. to build
Well,
high school.
we're all individual, we're all gonna have our own opinions, and we're all gonna have our own vote. It's gonna come down to that. My vote will depend on how the motion is made, because if our employees, our directors are not from the ground up at the very beginning, my vote will be no.
Well, it's gonna work.
Are you talking about when we get into the PQ application portion, the amended that part?
Applications.
Yeah, I got you.
Because
Like,
Yeah.
we need,
That makes sense.
yes,
Yes.
from the ground floor on.
Yeah,
So
I would,
you can get your time freed up and our interests are looked after
Yep.
by one of our employees, as Linda and I have spoken about that.
yep, I agree with that 100%. We should have
Yeah.
somebody from our district. I would just like to say, if we can, you know, the new, we keep calling it the new board, but we are the board. You know, has asked for information. We've been 10 weeks, and so I don't think that's an exorbitant amount of time to have all the information come to us, because we didn't have all the information that you had. So it's not a horrible amount of time. In my conversations with the residents and of the city, is, you know, do something. You know, you know, I don't want to say shit or get off the pot, but that's really the feelings that I'm getting from the people, and our kids deserve something nice. And
Well, I'd like to come on that behalf because it's kind of, you know, came up in the discussion, like my role is I am your one employee. But as your one employee, my job is to advocate on behalf of our staff and our students. And I think ethically, the right thing is that we provide them what we can with the money that's there. Our students are begging for it. We need to make a difference. And that's why, as my role as being the chief advocate for those students, for that staff, we've got to do something.
So yeah, no, I just wanted to respond to what you said, and I mean, it was some nice comments, but ultimately, the people voted for a new high school. We're not going to take their money for what they weren't promised. And that to me is just an ethical question. And when you actually talk to voters, that's what they say. And when we do this PQ app, let's at least have the courage to put it on the website 2 weeks ahead of time. Because I guarantee if the voters knew this was being voted on today, this would have been packed. Interestingly,
You know what?
oh, if they knew,
Not like the city, Justin, it's
Not
not.
anything like the city.
oh, but if they know, because they're city voters, trust me, it would have been announced at the council meeting last night because there were people there wondering what was going on. And I couldn't tell them because I didn't have an agenda. So, you know, it is odd that this was not put on the agenda till this morning when we've known about it for 2 weeks.
No, I got my agenda on Monday and it was on there then.
Not the public one. No, not the one that the public
Oh, not
reads.
the public one, the board one.
Yeah, but the public is what matters. It's not about me. It's not about you. It's about the public. It's about proper notice to the public.
Well, and
They're the ones paying it.
I also do want to reiterate again that, you know, a lot of times we're sitting here saying like, oh, this is how the residents of the city feel. We do not just cover the city of Taylor. We also cover residents in Westland. We cover residents in Dearborn Heights, in Inkster, and we cover these different areas and then even kids who come to us from school of choice. So quite honestly, we are looking out for much beyond just the city itself, because we truly do cover other communities within our boundaries.
That is true, but the city pays for it. So I care about what the people who pay for it think.
Wait a minute, how do you figure the,
Yeah, they're,
The district pays for it.
yeah. So if you're living in Inkster and you're within our boundaries, they're paying the same tax.
No, I understand that. But I'm talking about
Other-
referring to school of choice. So I'm just saying that the
Yes,
people,
correct.
yes, the voters who voted for this, since I'm worried about, you're right. Inkster did cover it, but if I'm school of choice in, let's say Rochester, I'm not paying for the bond.
Correct.
That's what I was trying to clarify.
Yes, correct.
anyone else have
oh, I got
comments?
nothing, that was enough.
Good enough?
Then,
I'm good.
Mr. Morris, you have anything? Any words of wisdom? No? Okay.
Not of wisdom.
Mr. Westfall? Not of wisdom. Anything to say?
Nope, I'm good.
Okay.
Well, what is the interest rate on the bonds real quick? Do we have an idea? Technical question.
I'm the attorney, I'm not the finance person, but we do these deals daily, but, so the interest rates have gone up, but they're still at historically low rates, so they're tax exempt bonds. And they're probably in the, you know, for 3.5% to 4% range.
Thank you.
Okay, well, good talk, fellow board members. All right, now we will move on to, I believe, the audience participation is the only thing we have left. Anyone? For the what? Oh, yeah, I don't want to see if anybody's gonna
Oh, yeah.
speak.
for you, yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yep. Anyone in person here to address the board? How about on Zoom? And entertain a motion to adjourn.
motion.
Support.
We have a motion by Field, support by Morris to adjourn at 5:35, we will reconvene at 6 o'clock for the regular board meeting.
We have to vote.
Oh, I have to vote on that.
That's all right.
Okay, no. I had a motion, I had a support, Westfall.
Yes.
Block is excused, Fields,
Yes.
Moore is yes, Mordarski,
Yes.
Morris,
Yes.
Shufelt. Okay, that passes 6. Oh, it will reconvene at 6. Thank you, everyone.